My name is Dominic Jennings, and I'm the Head of Strategic Partnerships at the Deep Knowledge Group. And we're absolutely delighted to welcome you all to our annual longevity Christmas reception. And after the 3.5-hour journey from Cobham this morning, I want to congratulate each and every one of you for turning up and attending. Absolutely marvellous attendance.
That's for you.
Thank you very much. This event is sponsored by Deep Knowledge Group and also DeepTech and Longevity Industry Financial Advisors, of which I'm also a director. So that's enough of my CV. I will be moderating today and would like to start with a brief intro, a very brief intro to Deep Knowledge Group, and then take you through the agenda. Is that showing? Yeah. Okay, as many of you are aware, Deep Knowledge Group is a consortium of profit and non-profit organisations active in the realm of deep tech and frontier technologies. We have three main activities: financial, ranging from a pioneering VC fund to financial products like the InvestTech platform, which you'll hear about in the longevity card. Our analytical data science subsidiaries are the core of the group and are world leaders in analytics for frontier technologies. And finally, we have our philanthropy division. Deep Knowledge Philanthropy is a pioneer of social impact projects. So, on to today's agenda. We're going to keep these quite short and sweet presentations, but after I speak, we'll have a small, short video, and then our general partner, Dmitry Kaminsky, will provide us with a strategic overview of our many projects in the last 12 months. Then we will have Stefan Huskott, our head of the Swiss office, who will talk about longevity trends. And then this will be followed by my colleague Talgat Takir, our head of investor relations, who will take us through the group's major achievements and the investment trends in 2022. I will then be showing again my face and demonstrating our AI-driven big data analytics systems and dashboards. And this will be followed by Diana Rama, who is our partner and managing director of Mayfair Networking Events, who's been instrumental in the success of all our events this year, and she will give a good review of our packed schedule in 2022. Following on to this, we have Ian Inkster. He's the head of our longevity policy department, and he will be offering us his insights on techno-philanthropy and our UK philanthropic projects. Now, a major highlight of this afternoon's proceedings will be the announcement of the upcoming launch of the Longevity Club and the Longevity Card by Roxy Iqbal. I'm sure you've seen her. Oh, there she is. And she's in charge, very much in charge of this very innovative project. So we're looking forward to hearing about that. And finally, in a keynote speech, Dmitry will offer us his insights on Deep Knowledge Group and the future, and our strategic plans for 2023. And on a very important but lighter seasonal note, I shall be taking you through our big data analytics on the Santa Claus ecosystem, December 2022, which is something to look forward to. Just to remind that Deep Knowledge Group is founded on DeepTech, but our major focus today is and will remain on human longevity and the coordination of technologies and opportunities to improve healthy life extension. And I should emphasize again, could you take that photo again, please? Space. I should emphasize that we are very, very open to cooperation and alliances with all partners here today in furthering these goals. So I hope you all enjoy this afternoon. You find out more about our activities, and I look forward to talking to you all later. Thank you.
Great to see you all here today. My great pleasure. So I will now outline our major accomplishments during this year, 2022. This will be probably 10 minutes presentation. Then later today, I will make another presentation. It will be about our plans for 2023 to 2024. So this is the universe of our group, our consortium. We are a mathematical financial corporation with a focus on deep tech and longevity industries. Our major number one asset within our consortium is our artificial intelligence and data science department. Besides focus on financial profit, we are also prioritizing tech and philanthropy projects. Dominic already explained that we have a number of investment financial vehicles in our group. We have more than 10 specialized analytical subsidiaries, and we have a number of philanthropy projects. If you visit our website, you will see this mind map, but in the interactive mode. And using that, you will be able to, let's say, get familiar with any and all of our projects and their intersections. Today we are at Longevity Chrismas Reception, and our organization indeed very much focused on longevity in terms of human health longevity, but also longevity industry. This is a composition of my books. Several of them are already published. Several of them will be published in the next several months and over the next year. Longevity Industry 1.0, defining the biggest and most complex industry in human history. This book was published 2 years ago. Now we already released the second edition because a lot of things happened during the last 2 years in longevity industry. Longevity Industry 2.0, Deep Tech Engineering, the accelerated trajectory of human longevity. It will be published approximately in February. Along with longevity financial industry, where we will be explaining about why health is the new wealth and how it's becoming the new asset class. And overall, major agenda, what we are doing at DeepTech Group, we are working on financial commoditization of deep tech and longevity industries. We profiled the entire global longevity ecosystem and industry. We are monitoring 72,000 companies with our AI algorithms. 14,000 specialized focused on health tech, longevity investors, and more than 1,000 hubs. We are differentiating companies based on their maturities. Some of them, many of them are at pre-IPO stage. This might be interesting for, let's say, bigger investors. But at the same time, we are also monitoring a lot of early-stage companies, and apparently this might be interesting for many different types of investors. We are doing the very same for global deep tech industry, which is much wider. On the other hand, longevity is the very forefront from technological point of view of deep tech industry. We were presenting on these topics on many different conferences during this year after the COVID lockdowns were lifted, including Longevity Investment Summit at World Economic Forum. We launched half year ago Longevity Financial Club in Oxford, Cambridge Club. We also were organizing a conference on topics of longevity, fintech, and InvestTech. And we actually are organizing many other events. Diana Rama will be talking about many different events which are organized later today. Longevity risk change for trading derivatives ties to longevity risk. And longevity risk, this is a big industry, approximately of $100 trillion on global scale. This is liabilities of pension funds and life insurance companies. So we invested in this project for trading of such derivatives. On the other hand, we invested in longevity card, which is a combination of discount and banking and fintech marketplace. So it's actually longevity, but at the same time health tech and at the same time fintech marketplace. Ross Iqbal will be talking about this today later on. We also launched InvestTech end-to-end platform for private equity for investment transactions, mostly for tech companies and first of all for longevity companies. We several weeks ago demonstrated the actual, let's say, live working version of the system. Dr. Key will be talking about this later today. Because in our organization, significant part of our people from our team, they're Ukrainians. So before the war, our back office was actually in Kyiv. Many of them, the refugees had to, let's say, move to Europe, but many of them are right now in Kyiv under bombardments. And they decided to make spin-off from this InvestTech platform, particularly for tech ecosystem of Ukraine. And the idea is that just after the war will be finished, so this system will be able to help approximately 450 tech startups, as it was just before the war, to receive in a quick mode investing, because in our view, these companies will be capable to, in a quick mode, to restore many different industries, but first of all, healthcare, because apparently there will be billions of dollars deployed to restore physical facilities, but we've just fraction from that budget being invested in AI in healthcare. AI in diagnostic companies will definitely help Ukraine to restore the healthcare system in much faster way. Our major project, which I am personally supervising, first of all, this is our big data ecosystem. This is our core component of all our consortiums. With this system, we are monitoring more than 500,000 of companies, more than 40,000 tech-focused investors. This is true big data ecosystem, AI-driven. There are more than 33 million of data points. We are monitoring longevity industry, DeepTech industry, and now even philanthropy global ecosystem. This is a simple presentation of architecture of the system and geographical distribution of our analytics. We have already implemented and operational 16 specialized big data analytics systems and dashboards, 6 MVPs, which will be launching in January, February, and another probably dozen of systems which are at the stage of concept, but they will be launched during next year. This is just a simple, again, presentation of pipeline of all those systems. There is a lot of data on public trade companies, like abundance of data. There is deficits, scarcity of data on private equity companies, especially if they are tech-focused companies. There's a lot of analytical companies applying artificial intelligence for analysis of data in public markets. There's very few analytical, there's a lot of companies which are analyzing private equity, but very few of them are using artificial intelligence or algorithmic methods of analysis for private equity, especially in terms of investment deals. So this is this gap and this disproportionate data. This is exactly the gap and the place we're playing, and this is where is our focus. We are using quite advanced mathematical methods. This is a multidimensional vector space which we're using, and we are analyzing one universe of investors, one universe of companies. And with that, we designed AI-driven smart investment matching tools. The system is also capable to provide optimized SWOT analysis and optimized comparative, and SWOT analysis. Dominic Jennings will be talking a little bit more about the system later today. Just recently, we conducted quite successful trip to Gulf region, and after that, we decided that Gulf region will become our major regional priority for the next year. Apparently, it's probably understandable for you that we actually already started with implementation of big data ecosystem on tech ecosystem and industry of Gulf region. And we are kind of establishing technological bridge between similar system which we launched already a year ago for UK, and now with the system for Gulf region. This is a mind map of our activities in Gulf region. We also, during previous years, conducted quite a lot of analytical case studies on UAE and other countries in Gulf region. Deep knowledge philanthropy. This project was launched 1 year ago, and during 2022 it was developing the concept of so-called techno philanthropy. So reapplying, repurposing most advanced technologies in commercial analytics or projects towards philanthropic projects. Ian Inser will be talking about this later today. And for philanthropy, we will be creating end-to-end platform solution. We also established Fifth Industrial Revolution Institute in the form of a IT platform. In the next several months, I will be releasing this book, Fifth Industrial Revolution. The future is faster, but much more complex than you think. Overall, what we were busy with during 2022 on big data aggregation of data, big data analytics, then deriving financial insights and designing investment strategies, and overall developing, let's say, helping to accelerate financial commoditization for deep tech and longevity industries, because in our view, commoditization, making more investable these industries for global investors, including, let's say, big institutional investors. This is the way how many hundreds of thousands of tech startups can quicker, easier, faster to receive financing. And this is the way how technologies will be delivered faster for humanity, especially when we are talking about longevity or preventive medicine technology. If those technologies are delivered faster, we are talking about saving lives. For your awareness, from aging, on average, dying every day, 100,000 people. So it's like, like a massive war. Over the next years, we'll be building longevity industry index, longevity stock exchange, longevity investment bank, deep tech, big data analytical system 2.0, long-term technological forecasting system. And I will be talking about these projects in my next presentation. Thank you very much for your attention.
Hi, everybody. So I'm Stefan Rasquet, and as you can hear from my accent, I'm a proud citizen of the United Kingdom. I'm delighted to be with you here today, back in London, for our Deep Knowledge Group Christmas event. I lived in London for over a decade, from 2005 to 2018, and these were some of the most exciting years of my life. I joined the group 4 years ago, and I am now based in Geneva, and I run our Swiss business, focusing mainly on proprietary investments, investor relations, and our investment vehicles that we have set up in Switzerland, such as thematic baskets on longevity-related investment opportunities. For instance, we have an actively managed AI pharma basket, which invests and tracks a new generation of companies combining machine learning and drug discovery. I'm here today to give you, I'll be short, and I want to give you a couple of words about longevity and what it means to me personally. Let me start with a quote from Jim Rohn, which in my opinion summarizes it well. Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live in. Now I have 3 questions for the audience, and I would like to take a raise of hands. Who here has ever tried cold baths? Couple? Who does meditation and breathing exercises? And who practices yoga? So that's superb. So we have some longevity adepts in the room, and it's great to see you. And welcome to the others too. So we live in extraordinary times, and I believe that we're in the midst of a paradigm shift, which started in 2020 with the COVID pandemic. It's a shift from sick care to a new way of thinking about health, which can be achieved through a 2-step process. The first step is a radical change in mindset to self-ownership of your health. The second step is the application of the principles of 4P medicine: personalized, preventive, predictive, and participative medicine. I will refer to the definition of health from the WHO. Health is a state of complete physical, mental, social, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. And I think this is an excellent definition, and which we need to look to when we think about health and its practice. One of my friends is a prominent GP in Geneva. He's successful and sought after by some of Geneva's top families. And he deep dives into problems and the causation of illness. He has shared with me that for chronic illnesses, he successfully treats 1/3 of them with food and lifestyle changes, and another third with the help of therapists doing trauma release And these are things we don't hear about, but these are also part of the whole longevity ecosystem, which gives solutions to people that have issues and want to take care of themselves. I've said that in my opening words that we are living through a fundamental shift. And this shift celebrates the renewed focus on immunity. And immunity is the core driver of longevity. And I'd like to refer to the concept of anti-fragility, which has been developed by Mr. Nassim Taleb. Anti-fragility is a property of systems in which they increase in capability to thrive as a result of stresses, shocks, volatility, noise, faults, attacks, or failures. So this mimics the functioning of nature. It's not about avoiding sickness, viruses. It's about training the body to become stronger and more resilient so that you can successfully withstand attacks and come out stronger and more robust from each challenge. Finally, I would like to invite you all to discover the flourishing European biohacking scene. There's a great group based in Finland, and I encourage you to have a look at what they're doing. What is biohacking? The basic definition would be the following. Biohacking your body means changing your chemistry and your physiology through science and self-experimentation to increase energy and vitality. And I like a more comprehensive definition which was proposed by the founder of this summit at the last conference. Biohacking is about becoming more resilient and more conscious. And to me that's a great summary of the potential which is unlocked by the challenge of longevity. The literature and communities, and we are putting a lot of resources out there, open source for you all to enjoy. This is all available for anyone to join. And that is true wealth in the 21st century. It takes courage and ownership to rise to the opportunity of the longevity revolution. And the riches are immense. Personally, and in terms of investing, I'll be happy to speak to any of you today that are investing in this space. And thank you for having me. Thank you for being with us today.
Let me, first of all, show gratitude to you all for coming today. It's a pleasure meeting you, so many familiar faces. I must admit my topic will not be as healthy as Stefan's. I'm going to cover fintech, private equity investment trends, UK tech ecosystem, and our participation in Arab-British Economic Summit. Let me start with some trends that we've seen throughout the 2022. So as we know, founders of tech and science-driven startups have to spend enormous time and efforts to get in front of relevant potential investors. DeepTech startups have critical needs to get financed between seed and Series A stage, which typically can take 3 to 5 years in case of DeepTech. Investment funds in most cases use almost the same techniques for deal sourcing and due diligence as they did 10 years ago. LPs and venture funds have to lock up their capital until a liquidity event is reached. And early stage investors are having limitation with secondary market transactions because of a procedure. So we came up with a solution. This year we launched InvestTech platform. What is it? Deep Knowledge Group aims to remove existing barriers to invest in private markets and to add value for all stakeholders through our InvestTech platform. This one-stop solution allows investors to deploy capital quickly in an efficient manner and enable startups to raise funds and keep growing. InvestTech platform ecosystem includes end-to-end legal tech IT-based system, full scope of investment transactions in private equity markets, intellectual property investment and trading platform, and extra mile service integrations. These are some of the services and tools that are included in our InvestTech platform. As you can see, is quite advanced. We have many platform services, platform tools. Let me show you some of the selected tools of the InvestTech platform. For example, investors have the personalized dashboards where they can see where do they invest, how much, secure data room for investment transactions, all legal documents templates to download, edit, and sign, and keep it there. InvestTech Marketplace. Startups can create deals on the platform and initiate fundraising campaigns. And onboarding for different categories of users. The InvestTech platform is not only for startups, it's for investors as well, and for business service providers. So you are welcome to join. InvestTech platform capabilities So basically, it was created to identify specific private market investment targets and to reduce financial and transactional risks. Users can participate in investments on a deal-by-deal basis and making multiple direct investments at different funding stages. So the key features include clear and transparent investment process, mitigation of compliance risk, enhanced risk management, investing on a deal-by-deal, in-depth performance analysis, and many, many more. Although InvestTech platform will have multiple integrations. For example, with big data analytics systems dashboard that my colleague Dominic Jennings will cover later, as well as longevity card project. It's a neobank that my colleague Roxy Iqbal will cover more extensively, as well as IP, investment trading platform, and investor relationship management system. In November this year, we have produced the first live demonstration of the platform to the audience, as my colleague Dmitry Kaminsky already outlined. It was quite successful, so we've been able to show the fully functional MVP on the platform and to show all the capabilities. This is another photo. So UK Digital Ecosystem Big Data Analytics Dashboards. Deep Knowledge Group developed a specialized AI-driven big data analytics system that profiles the entire UK digital ecosystem and provides automated, quantifiable tools for intelligent, data-driven decision-making for investors, corporations, and governments. So AI-driven big data analytical dashboard covers real-time business analytics, GovTech, sector analytics, and automated company and investor SWOT analysis. So this is a mind map. I'm not going to cover all the companies on this mind map. I'll save you some time. So as I've said before, this year in November as well, we participated in the Arab-British Economic Summit, where we talked about our plans to expand into the Gulf region. And we have lots of plans to integrate our successful projects like DeepTech, Big Data Analytics System, Longevity Card, InvestTech system next year. So this is our team that participated in the summit. So basically, why we want to expand into the Gulf region? Our main aim is to establish a technological bridge between the UK and the Gulf region. So we are going to use our deep tech expertise, AI-driven approach, big data analytics, automated matching, and investment optimization. So we are going to use all our knowledge and experience to integrate it into the Gulf region as well. This is it from me. I would be delighted to talk to each and every one of you later today. Thank you very much for listening.
I'm going to give you a brief review of the big data analytical systems, our global tech ecosystem, and the longevity tech ecosystem. I think the first thing to say is that our methods and systems have been developed over nearly 10 years. And when Dmitry founded the group, he started by creating the initial framework of the industries and analysing deep tech and longevity. Then we moved to the production of fundamental analytical reports, then moving on to advanced visualizations and mind maps. These were originally static, but as you know now they're fully interactive visualizations, which I'll talk about. And then we moved to thematic dashboards, and finally we announced our newest iteration, which is the AI-driven big data analytics dashboards. So what do they offer? Well, as it says, we offer profound investment and data science and analytics via customized IT platforms. There are literally hundreds of thousands of companies that we analyze. In DeepTech, for instance, 40,000 investors, however many data points, and many, many parameters for SWOT analysis. I think you can see that we are quite focused. Our sector focus is at the bottom there: health tech, deep tech, biotech, longevity, GovTech, and philanthropy. How should you think about these particular dashboards? What do they offer? I think the point is that this is the first operating solution which offers a combination of the best of Palantir for data science, Bloomberg for financial analysis, but not publicly, well, it is publicly listed, but we also do private market financial analysis, and then PitchBook for networks and matching tools. Each one of those three companies have a very good USP, but only our solution offers a combination of all three. These are the existing Deep Knowledge Group's big data analytics systems and dashboards. Again, going back to our analytical subsidiaries, you can see that through Aging Analytics, Deep Pharma, Deep Knowledge, these are the key dashboard parameters for the various existing dashboards. The other thing that I'm sure you're aware if you've come to our events is the ever-developing evolution of our group. And we always have a pipeline of projects, initiatives, alliances, and the same is it's absolutely the same with our big data analytical systems and dashboards. So we're starting with the longevity investment, and now we're moving through the finance, the public longevity, the governance, which is very important. One thing I should say about the longevity governance is, and it links into philanthropy, is using SWOT analysis, using AI-driven SWOT analysis, you can analyze and rank anything you want. It's a machine learning algo. So it doesn't just apply to private companies. You can apply it to philanthropy. You can measure the social impact of projects. Equally, you can analyze every single national health system in the world. And we will analyze however many hundred parameters, and you will be able to rank the system by the rank, and you will also be able to understand why and how that rank exists. So this is particularly when we look at what's happened in the last 3 years, this is a fundamental advance in analysing public services, not just private companies, equities, and that's a key point to take away today as well. More pipelines, even more pipelines. And I think this, you've seen this before, this is a very good example of the mind maps, the visualizations, and as I said, they're interactive as well. It's most important to remember here that 99% of the companies in our chosen areas, the frontier technologies, are all privately held. So what we're doing is plugging the information gap for companies and investors, mapping out competitive landscapes, ranking SWOT analysis for each and every item on the dashboard, and that, in private markets, information is key. You'll see lots of these. There's lots of information about the features in our handouts and in our books. And finally, Tag has touched on this, but we have the InvestTech platform, thematic stock exchanges, our investor relations management system, and what I think is really interesting is the IP and investment trading platform. So we have lots of projects, there's one idea behind it, and they're all connected, and that's what I wanted to show you.
Good afternoon, London. We need some vibrancy in this room. We're talking longevity. So guys, first of all, give a big round of applause to Dimitri and his team. Why I'm asking you to applause before even I start is because they have connected something which I can only see in like 2050, 60, or when I was a kid watching sci-fi films. And to me, the first thing that caught my eye on the screen is Femtech. How many of you in this room would think of Femtech, I think of AI, I think of FinTech, I think of this tech, that tech. But Femtech? How many people in this room really talk about menopause. Why I'm picking up on these things is because I'm a big believer in women empowerment. And when I say that, why do I say that? Because I have taken my wife's name behind my name. My name is Taha Koban Kute. Koban is my wife's surname, which I've taken behind my name. But here we are talking about longevity. The idea of merging private equity fund, AI tech, and healthcare, and bank, and card, all of that is just amazing. And I would rather request every one of you in this room to probably get a MasterCard from longevity. So with that, I would just further go ahead and talk about, I could talk about this whole day, but I'm just the guest speaker, so I'm going to take one moment of yours. So saying that, I again applaud you and your team, and I think you have come up with a brilliant concept, and this concept has not been taken to India. If you ever feel like taking it to India, me and my team are here from the UK Asian Business Council, and you can talk to us. Thank you very much once again for having me.
Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to our longevity Christmas reception. And may I say Merry Christmas to everyone.
Thanks.
I hope you are doing well. And very quickly I would like to say that, as you may know, I'm a managing director of Mayfair Networking Events. But since this summer, I'm delighted to work with Deep Knowledge Group, who is, the company is very forward-thinking, innovative, and I would like to thank very much general partner of the group, Dmitry Kaminsky, and his brilliant team for fantastic work and professionalism and organizing these fantastic business events. And I would like to give them a big round of applause. Thank you all for coming today to this beautiful venue, House of Lords. And I know some of you bit unmanageable problems with traffic coming all the way from Belgravia. Nevertheless, I would like to give you a quick overview of what was happening in 2022 at Deep Knowledge Group, and I was delighted to assist in some of these beautiful business events. So what an achievement! Over 10 major events in London with topics on longevity, DeepTech, InvestTech, GovTech, and tens of thousands attendees. Here, Dmitry delivered a keynote address on the current state and future of the longevity industry at Davos Longevity Investment Summit during the World Economic Forum in 2022. The following week, Dmitry followed up with a talk on the future of human longevity in Spain. This is the most sophisticated invitation-only conference on the topic of long-term technological forecasting, organized with support from the Spanish government. And I should notice that the honorary committee, one of the honorary committee, is the King of Spain, His Majesty Philip VI. Here's the launch of the London Longevity Financial Club at the prestigious Oxford and Cambridge Club June this year. The club was created with the support of longevity financial advisors to fill the unmet need and provide a platform for financial industry professionals to discuss the latest trends in the longevity financial industry, which, by the way, is a multi-trillion sector with a massive untapped potential. Here we can see the Longevity Financial Club hosted the second official event for investment and financial industry professionals on the topic of longevity, fintech and InvestTech in the Sky Lounge of the landmark building The Shard. In October this year, Deep Knowledge Group unveiled 5 GovTech and DeepTech Big Data Analytics dashboard at the landmark GovTech Global 2022 conference, alongside with top government officials. This was followed by the Assistive Tech event. This was the official launch of the new Assistive Tech in the UK interactive report. The event was held here at the House of Lords. Deep Knowledge Group Head of Investor Relations, Talgat Takiev, looking good up there, presented at the Arab-British Economic Summit, a high-level conference hosted by the Arab-British Chamber of Commerce, bringing together government officials, senior executive, thought leaders, and decision-makers from the UK and the Arab world. And I know we have many guests from Arab-British Chamber of Commerce here. Very warm welcome. The group hosted the first public demonstrations. Apologies. This was in Sharjah. Deep Knowledge Group and the Sharjah Research Technology and Innovation Park have co-hosted a tech talk to reveal jointly produced life sciences in the United Arab Emirates report. And here, Deep Knowledge Group hosted the first public demonstration and launch event for its InvestTech tech platform and artificial intelligence-powered next-generation investment management technology at RISE by Barclays on Friday, November 25th. And this event is today, and we hope very much that this is not the last event we can see you joining us. And we wish you a wonderful afternoon with us. Please come and talk to Dmitry, come and give us your feedback. Thank you very much for your attention.
The thing I'd like to talk to you about this afternoon for the next few minutes is the potential impact of technology on philanthropy. Why there hasn't been any real impact yet, and how Deep Knowledge Group is striving to change this. So first of all, a diagnosis. What is the current state of modern philanthropy? Oh, sorry. Philanthropy is a modern enterprise. It deals with today's problems, it deals with today's concepts. It's not out of touch in these regards, but the modern philanthropic ecosystem remains technologically outdated compared to modern industry. What I mean by this is that whereas modern industry is driven by tangible metrics such as profit, which forces it to reach for technological solutions, to improve its efficiency and accountability and to remain competitive, philanthropy measures its social impact score of its immediate activities. So, but as a metric, that's no substitute for profit. As such, there's not currently any good metric or incentive structure in place which drives philanthropic organisations to improve themselves in terms of keeping themselves valuable to stakeholders and competitive in terms of attracting investment. So philanthropy, to sum up, philanthropy is stuck in a cycle of unaccountability and inefficiency. Due to being technologically outdated, philanthropic organisations often fail to navigate technological, regulatory, economic and environmental changes, and not in the same way that industry does. So consequently, philanthropic organisations are often seen as suspicious, subject to bad decision-making, fraud. In essence, philanthropy is seen as less lean and mean than industry, but it doesn't actually have to be this way. It's a challenge that's been occupying the Deep Knowledge Group for the past 3 years, and our analytical subsidiaries as well have been dissecting the problem, analysing a number of areas on the topic of social investment, technological humanitarianism and venture philanthropy. And you can see here the fruits of some of our labours. first or last such mind map you've seen today. So, yes, this is a challenge that has led Deep Knowledge Group to establish Deep Knowledge Philanthropy in 2021. Deep Knowledge Group's vision is to leverage technology to drive social good by supporting innovation internationally, and Deep Knowledge Philanthropy takes this mission from the realm of industry and into the realm of philanthropy. Since its inception, Deep Knowledge Philanthropy has produced a number of open access analytical reports on different topics and sectors of philanthropy, which cover the developments of new technologies in industry, major trends, and social impact of technology. And Deep Knowledge Philanthropy was created with the mandate of, quote, using DeepTech to deliver 10 times to 50 times the social impact on humanity than the current philanthropy ecosystem average. Which basically means the commitment to use the latest proprietary deep tech innovations to accelerate technology's humanitarian aspects. Deep Knowledge Group also has a long-standing track record of supporting and helping to establish philanthropically motivated projects and organizations, including the longevity industry collaborative platform, longevity.international, which is supported by more than 30 non-profit institutional co-founders and collaborators, and also Atlas, the Assistive Technology, Longevity and Aging Society, which is a social enterprise whose inaugural report was launched here at the House of Lords just a couple of months ago. We plan on not just continuing these activities, but also intensifying them and leading them into 2023. Culminating in Deep Knowledge Philanthropy's solution to the problem I described at the beginning, which we term techno-philanthropy. Techno-philanthropy begins with diagnosis, as I said, that the global philanthropy ecosystem is falling behind its potential due, firstly, to a failure to embrace technologies, and secondly, due to a failure to prioritize projects and organizations championing emerging technologies for humanitarian change, deep tech for the social good. But Deep Knowledge Philanthropy's techno-philanthropy solution takes the form of philanthropy.international, which is a platform supported by Deep Knowledge Group and backed by the analytical and data science back-end of Deep Knowledge Philanthropy. Now, there are two global solutions that philanthropy.international is building. The first is the philanthropy IT platform, which acts as a meeting place between charities, NGOs, donors, volunteers to engage in philanthropic activity. The second is the big data analytics dashboard, which provides insight and intelligence to the philanthropy space, and it can drive decision-making for governments, corporations and individuals if they're deeply invested in charitable activities. So the joint objective of the analytical system and dashboard lies in delivering on-demand market intelligence analytics through data coverage across the philanthropy industry. The dashboard and platform together, between them, will work in concert to multiply philanthropy's impact on humanity. This brings philanthropy up to speed with modern industry and opens the door to the potential industrialization of philanthropy. So I've not had very much time to explore these ideas, but if anyone wants any more information on philanthropy.international, as well as the open access analytics of Deep Knowledge Philanthropy and other social projects and organizations we are supporting, like Atlas, it can be found on these three websites. And meanwhile, please feel free to reach out to me after today's talk if you'd like to talk about how you can become involved in these and other initiatives. We hope to have even more activities in this realm to talk about in the coming year, and thank you for your time.
Hello everybody. thank you to everyone for making it today, in spite of the rail strikes. Although I have to say, I thought I was at the top of the leaderboard, having travelled, gosh, 5.5 hours from Yorkshire this morning, but someone came from Bulgaria, so you win. Thank you so much to you all for coming today. I think we've all found a very common theme and common denominator here in using tech for social good, to drive social good, and also the overall wellness and health and longevity of society. So I'm very, very pleased to be introducing to you Longevity Card, which I think is one of my personal passion projects, and as Director of Longevity Card, it gives me great privilege to finally introduce to so many people something that we've been working very, very, very hard on for the last year or two. So, without further ado, before I go into too much detail about the card, I don't need to give you a big speech about how health is the new wealth, which we have trademarked, by the way. Indeed, health is the new wealth. We are all very appreciative living in a post-COVID world about our health. But I think to take that a step further, it's clear that the global crisis that we had will have long-lasting effects, not just for people, but actually financial institutions themselves are starting to have newfound priorities for health and other areas as well. So rightly so, health and longevity will be and will receive greater attention and will be rightly considered as a tangible and precious asset of equal standing to financial health. And that's really important, because what we've taken is the two. We've taken your health and your wealth, and we've created a product that allows you to take full control of both at the same time in one app. And allow me to introduce you to Longevity Card, which is, as mentioned earlier, a neobank to manage your money, a digital wellbeing health console with a suite of activities and incentives and enabling components and features, which we'll go into shortly, and a marketplace, which is a one-stop shop of health, wellness, longevity brands, essentially. So going back to the whole idea about how health is the new wealth, it's important to, you might ask, how we created that bridge between health and wealth. Well, the government did that for us in many ways, when they started to apply sugar tax and negative impact products, which actually cost us more, where we are incentivized to be healthier and to live healthy. You get subsidized membership, so in all ways it pays to be healthy. So yes, it is in my opinion, a commodity. Your health is a commodity within its own right. So Longevity Card is our vehicle that we're putting out into the public that allows customers to access this concept and to be able to control their health and their wellness in their health. It's developed, it's an MVP, and we're launching in a matter of, I think, days. At the end, I will be giving you access to a waiting list where we're taking people's interest to subscribe. So, the key components, as you can see, you've got the key main banking card, which is the retail and the corporate. So we will have a B2C and a B2B version of the card. So you have a virtual card, your debit card, your multi-currency accounts, your ability to transfer, support, several in-app features which you may be familiar with, but we've also started to develop and to enhance as well. Health tech integration is really important. Now, I just want to touch back on what Taha said earlier on about femtech, because believe it or not, femtech in the UK is quite a new concept, and we at Deep Knowledge Group have developed our very own femtech analytics division. And just last night, yesterday, we launched our new femtech overview, which essentially gives a snapshot of what the femtech industry in the UK looks like. And I will tell you, the current femtech industry is completely dominated in North America and by the US. I think they have at least 56 or 60% market share. Europe is coming in second, and the UK will, hopefully in the next couple of years, catch up. And what we want to do is integrate femtech into our app to enable that and to allow us to catch up, not just into the app, but also by supporting femtech in our longevity marketplace, the longevity card marketplace, and in Longevity Club. So health tech integration. One of the other ways that we incentivize you to be healthy is we actually give you points. So the more you earn, the more you burn, the more points that you get. So if you hit your steps, the more you transact in the app, you will receive points, and these points will convert into cashback and further discounts in Marketplace as well. But I just want to add as well that we have included non-discriminatory features within our console that we are going to develop and hopefully advance, and that includes features for when I was pregnant and I couldn't do my 10,000 steps, mindfulness, other forms of meditation where you can complete courses. And for women, FemTech, we are going to be including more information about menopause. We are going to be incentivizing users, especially women. If you're on your period, we will actually give you more points for exercising while you're on your period. And I think that's more than fair, especially after we've lived through years of period tax, unfortunately. So that there are several new components, and we're thinking about societal issues as we are developing this app. We're thinking about ways that we can engage with the community and issues that are happening in the community as well. And that takes me to age tech solutions. This is really important, and we were very fortunate to have been featured in a MasterCard report for upcoming startups based on this age tech solution that we are developing. There is not necessarily a product out there that is focused on our senior society, and I'm not going to patronize anybody here. I'm going to be very, very honest. You know, we look at traditional banking, and we're looking at how banking is evolving, and it's unfair because there is a large part of digital exclusion and marginalization, and we are creating an app which is inclusive. We are going to be adding assistive technology features and age tech solutions as well to this app to make it more friendly for older users who are more used to a traditional experience over the counter in branches which unfortunately are closing down. So we're thinking about these issues and how to respond to them, and how to respond to an audience and customers who actually need these services and haven't necessarily been created or offered to them in the way that they should be. So we'll be also creating AI-enabled services, which I'll go into later on, video chat, and I just wanted to give you a quick look. I won't go into too much detail because I know you've seen our mind maps before about some of the UK's age tech solutions. There is so much out there. This industry is ripe and it's growing exponentially, and it's just an honour for us to be able to work with so many partners and to be inspired as well to incorporate some of these companies and features as well. Marketplace, just really quickly touch upon that because I know I'm running over time. One-stop shop of brands that relate to our values of wellness, mindfulness. This is not just about brands about your physical health. Of course, we want to feature those that do speak to that. So brands that might be focusing on fitness and even beauty. But also, we are, you know, Headspace is one of the most popular apps at the moment when it comes to mindfulness as well. Rover is actually for pets. There's so many different brands that we are working with, and I just want to add that we would be inviting people who want to be in our marketplace to work with us. And essentially what we do differently is you get exclusive vouchers, discounts, and access to some of these partners all in one console as well. So I think I am running over, aren't I? So I'll quickly go into Longevity Club, which is essentially the unique community which is developed where members will have full access to advanced concierge services, list of specialist treatments, as well as educational material and practical advice on healthy longevity. So if you imagine housing all of this, you've got all these features, from having an AI longevity advisor, which I think is fantastic to be able to use AI technology in providing you with chatbots, longevity stories, and your financial planner, and using biometrics and other technologies as well, to incorporating a larger marketplace, which speaks to a more global crowd as well. The longevity cabinet, which is for your health and longevity diagnostics and checkups all in one place, biomarkers, the health data wallet. There is so much that we're developing from the virtual reality longevity quest as well. And this will be open, hopefully launched next year as well, and will be integrated with Longevity Banking Card, which will be launching in the UK very, very, very soon. So thank you very much for your time. I'm very excited to work with so many of you, hopefully in the future, inviting you to submit. I know that there are people here who might want to join our marketplace. I know that there are several health brands and people who work in healthcare and health tech as well. And so we would invite your collaboration, and just really quickly at the end, made a QR code for you. So if you want to scan that, you will go straight to a waiting list, and this waiting list will allow for you to have first priority access to either B2B or B2C apps, so you can trial it. You can be part of the beta stage testing as well. If you wanted to become an ambassador or you wanted to join our marketplace, you can come and find me. I'm happy to have a conversation with you in person. I know that there's probably quite a bit that I've missed, but I'm going to pass it back to Dominic. And yes, thank you so much for coming, and I'll hopefully speak with you all soon.
Before I will start my presentation, my second presentation, actually just wanted to ensure that everybody understood what it means femtech, because here's a lot of text. Femtech is about women health. Indeed, in longevity, indeed we have entire among our 10 analytical subsidiaries, besides, for example, Asian analytics stages, so besides deep pharma terms, we have particular femtech analytics. So this is analytical entity focused on global women's health. Within longevity bank card, there will be a specialized market place for women's health, let's say, vendors for services. It's also interesting coincidence that just yesterday, the head of femtech analytics, Maria Shmilov, she's right now in Kiev. So, and at the same time being in Kiev, she's head of big data analytics on global femtech industry. So she published an article about women's health in Ukraine and how right now women there are actually suffering, from total destruction of healthcare system. At the same time, how technologies, including the technologies which she herself and our team in Kiev will derive from our developments in Kiev internationally, how they are planning to deploy those technologies right after the war, particularly for, in a quick mode, to restore some kind of facilities, let's say some infrastructure for women's health, using first of all, some additional terms for diagnostic and monitoring of health. Okay, now what DeepTech Group is going to do in the next year and next several years. So, whereas during the last 10 years we were focused on data aggregation, development of big data and ecosystems, and our corporate AI engine, the next year or two will be mostly focused on conversion of those data assets towards acceleration of deep tech and, first of all, longevity financial industry commoditization. As I mentioned in my first presentation, we focused on longevity industry index building, longevity stock exchange, longevity investment bank, deep tech, big data and ecosystem already of second generation, long-term technological forecasting system. Besides financial and commercial activities, we will even more prioritize going deep tech for social good projects, including Fifth Industrial Revolution Institute, and including Techno Philanthropy as a new paradigm for global philanthropy ecosystem. We will be enhancing further our AI engine. With that, we expecting to have even deeper insights on the financial markets, and having that even more being capable to accelerate the commoditization of deep tech and financial industries. In our view, commoditization of this emerging tech industries, especially when it is about longevity industry, the more they are commoditized, the more they are investable, the more money will be, like on the scale of trillions of dollars, will be deployed in those tech companies. The more they will have money, the faster they will develop their technologies and products and deliver to the market. The sooner people receive those technologies, the sooner they will be, let's say, dying later or living longer in health state. So this is about commoditization. It's like core our systemic priority for the next, I would say, 10 years. So indeed, we'll be first of all deploying our budget for enhancement of our AI official data setting. Just recently, during the last couple of months, we had more than 2,000 of mathematicians, and we're kind of extending our multidimensional mathematical vector space to even more dimensionality, and applying already non-conventional mathematical and deep learning, reinforcement learning techniques. With that, apparently we're planning to extract even more data from, let's say, more insights from big data. We'll be enhancing this interconnection between financial forecasting and technological forecasting, because there is quite a lot of, let's say, forecasters which are doing either one or the other, not many which are doing particularly this technological-financial forecasting. Gartner is one well known, but they're not using anything like AI or big data on that matter. So this is also architecture of how we are actually already applying now, but what in particular we'll be enhancing during next year in terms of forecasting on IPO, pre-IPO companies, how to evaluate which of them actually deserve to be listed on the public stock exchange, so that they will be not then after delisted. Because, for example, as you know, several UK companies which were in the health space, last year they went public on NASDAQ, and unfortunately in this September they were delisted, including, if I am correct, Babylon Health. Nevertheless, our focus will be on developing AI-driven financial tech analytics, but with insights on financial markets, already of second generation with that enhanced AI engine. Indeed, we'll be also expanding our activities in Gulf region. In our view, there's a lot of opportunities now. It's like emerging not only financial hub, but which is kind of a little bit surprising, but at the same time quite understandable. At the same time, emerging as one of the most leading tech hubs. And there will be, of course, deploying all our projects which are already established in UK and Europe and Switzerland and so on. But besides that, particularly there will be deploying even some more advanced, I would say at this stage, a little bit secretive projects, proprietary projects of next generation. We will be proceeding building more enhanced, more sophisticated, more robust IT platform for within this paradigm of techno-philanthropy. Indeed, we will be much more significantly upgrading the AI system to analyze global philanthropy ecosystem. We understand the global philanthropy ecosystem currently is assessed by Bank of America. Turnover is $2.5 trillion. On the other hand, at least several hundreds of millions are participating in philanthropy ecosystem as a volunteer, free of charge. So it's like the biggest, one of the biggest, I would say, only comparable with longevity industry, the two biggest, I think philanthropy couldn't be named as industry, but at least ecosystem. And this is quite important that, because there is close to zero any analytics and any assessments, any kind of benchmark. And this is quite important to have something like that for transparency, because philanthropy is very much depends on trust. And for that we'll be indeed refocusing our AI engine to provide such unbiased, unmanned, machine intelligence-based analytics. Eventually, we're expecting, it depends on some software, let's say, software development offices, but we're expecting to have within 6 months, maximum 8 months, end-to-end platform solution, IT platform solution for philanthropy ecosystem. Fifth Industrial Revolution, the future is faster but much more complex than you think. This is one of my major books to be published in the next several months, based vice versa. The book is published based on the research which we are doing within Fifth Industrial Revolution Institute, but on the other hand, we'll be deploying more resources to develop more sophisticated IT solutions to enhance this platform for maximum collaborative work between scientists. What will be named now Fourth Industrial Revolution fits into this framework of Fifth Industrial Revolution, Fourth Industrial Revolution, sorry, on the left. We are now developing the framework for Fifth Industrial Revolution. This is logical scheme for actually teaching our AI long-term forecasting system. So when people from our team today were talking about big data and ecosystem, especially on DeepTech industry, consider this as big data and ecosystem on fourth industrial revolution. We now started already to build big data and ecosystem on fifth industrial revolution. Technically, it's long-term technological forecasting system. And we are, during the next year, will be specifically working on creating technological forecasting bridge between two systems, which will be actually the tool how to accelerate technological progress from fourth industrial revolution to fifth industrial revolution. For your understanding, in our forecasting, fifth industrial revolution will happen in 10 years from now, 2032. So overall, this could be probably named as technological and financial futurism, but probably today we saw that we are doing this in quite a pragmatic way. Now, we talk a lot about technologies in particular, but my personal passion is like life extension. Starting with my personal life extension, however, I think also this technology should be distributed across all humanity. One of my next books, I think it will be published by the end of 2023, the complete guide of how to celebrate your 123rd birthday. And this book will be not about supplements or healthy lifestyle, which is kind of beneficial, of course, for life extension, but in very mild form. I think you will be not surprised that I will tell you that this book will be mostly about data science, artificial intelligence, how this could be applied for personal and overall human life extension. By the way, whoever first will celebrate their 123rd birthday, be aware that I will provide birthday gift of $1 million to the person. This is based on comparison that the previous life record is 123 years and 6 months. And indeed, in that book, in Practical Longevity, we'll be delivering particular technological frameworks regarding, for example, Stefan today mentioned about biohacking, but there are smart biohackers and there are blunt biohackers. So not to be kind of, let's say, full examples of smart biohackers, there should be some logical frameworks, and there are such. And one of my previous books, which was published 1 year ago, Biomarkers of Human Longevity, how data science can accelerate aging research, at the same time how it can serve as a practical, as a catalyst for practical human longevity, and at the same time how this can also serve as a tangible analytical tools for de-risking investments, how to not invest into overhyped companies which promising life extension or magic anti-aging pills, but this is built on just like empty promises. And with these technologies, our forecasting that so-called longevity escape velocity could be achieved in 10 years, applying first of all advanced technologies for preventive medicine, early-stage diagnostic of disease, and overall extension of healthy period of life. First of all, by the way, and Stefan mentioned this correct, all supercentenarians, the people who are living beyond 110 years, genetically they have the extremely strong immune system. So this is the very cause of there's no secret, solution how to achieve extra long longevity, but the one universal tool, root tool, this is enhanced immunity, which also protects from many pandemics, including COVID. There's many cases when people survived Spanish flu 100 years ago and now survived also COVID. This is because they had extremely strong immunity. Longevity escape velocity, this is the term escape velocity, this is similar to the term which is common in space exploration. Now, our forecasting, but by approximately 2032, but we will be working to make it 2030, the speed of arriving of new anti-aging technologies, treatments, will become equal to the speed of chronological aging of people. And in the next 4 years it will exceed. So that means that many people who have access to such technologies, they will be able, using such technologies, to actually put on pause their chronological aging. And just to summarize, in the next year, we'll further prioritize our data science AI department. We will be further working on, let's say, promoting or developing DeepTech and especially longevity as a new asset class. We will be pursuing this agenda of DeepTech for social good and techno-philanthropy, and we will be working on further commoditization of DeepTech and longevity financial industry. With that, we'll be focusing on establishment of longevity index, longevity stock exchange, longevity investment bank, DeepTech, big data analytical system 2.0, long-term technological forecasting system. This is just composition of our major analysts and their website. Dominic was saying this. DeepKnowledge Group is very much open to dialogues, partnerships, collaboration, cooperation on the topics of DeepTech and especially longevity with like-minded individuals, organizations across finance, investment, technology, science, governance, sports, and philanthropy. Thank you very much for your attention. Merry Christmas.
So I hope that this goes down better than it did at 6 o'clock this morning. When I tried it out on my wife, terrible. Is the I think. Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Very nice.
Can't hear you at the back.
I think you can now, actually.
Thank you.
So, to repeat, this didn't go well at all when I woke up my wife and said, could you just listen to this for 5 minutes at 6 o'clock this morning? So, I hope it goes down better here. And this is really the afternoon's most important speech, what we've all been waiting for. A big data analysis of the Santa Claus ecosystem. Now, I can't go through every aspect of the competitive landscape, but what I can do is give you a few highlights of the companies that are involved. Firstly, transportation. This obviously includes reindeers, Rudolph, Dasher, Dancer et al. These are the guys who help Santa Claus ensure that all children receive their presents. We have a very reliable, key deep knowledge database partner, and that will be NORAD's Santa Tracker. I don't know if you've ever used it before, but I always enjoyed it far more than my children. But we are reliably informed that the reindeers will travel 41 million miles in 32 hours, adjusted for time zones, and they will also be delivering over 1 million tons of presents to 750 million children, which is marvellous news, but unfortunately, last week, the reindeers went on strike. First laugh of the evening, that's very good. Oh, that's a relief. So, anyhow, this is a bit corny, but luckily, after some frantic phone calls from the North Pole, we were able to raise some Santa funds on the InvestTech platform and kept the entire show on the road. Of course, the provision of fuel for the reindeers, that would be carrots to you and me, is an essential subsector of the Christmas companies. However, as anyone who has recently visited a supermarket can testify, our algos have discovered some distortions and worries about the price of a pound of carrots. As you know, this has risen inexorably with the other essential items such as butter, sprouts, and brandy cream. Thankfully, Santa has told us that he very cleverly hedged his carrot costs last December. So this particular weakness, please laugh, Talbot, this particular weakness in our SWOT analysis has now been resolved. Moving on to the gift wrapping sector. our big data analysis has uncovered some surprising results. When we look across the board, from seed companies to mature gift wrapping companies, it appears that every single CEO of a successful gift wrapping company is female. And they only employ female staff. Astonishingly, we have found that all men, without a single exception, are absolutely, completely incapable of wrapping presents in any tidy, nice, presentable form.
I agree.
Thank you. So, thank you very much. So, I think this is a very important consideration when investing in this sector. Finally, looking at turning to Santa's angels, agents even, elves, for instance, we have detected a huge amount of fraud in this sector, particularly concerning fake Santa Clauses. So how can we spot a counterfeit Santa? Well, never mind AI robots. The key analytical tools here are your children. As my daughter shouted in the rather expensive Harrods Grotto many years ago, "You're not Santa Claus. I saw the real one in Sainsbury's last week." Thank you, Jessica. So anyhow, this shows that AI-driven analysis isn't the be-all and end-all. They actually have missed out a couple of human factors. I'll just turn the page now. A little shaky. So firstly, alcohol supplies. Where's that? Everyone knows Santa requires a warming sherry when he delivers his goods and goes back up the chimney. Now, there are 28 million households in the UK alone. This requires not only a huge, sturdy constitution, but a significant investment in logistics and supply chain management. Also, medical supplies. It obviously doesn't apply to me or Talgat or any of our longevity colleagues, but overindulgence is often a symptom of, shall we say, irrational exuberance at this time of year. So we would always recommend a small weighting of Gaviscon in our portfolio. That's it for the bad jokes. But the true spirit of Christmas and the message of Christmas is embodied by the work of non-profit organisations and the fabulous work that they do for those less fortunate than ourselves. And we should always be thankful for their huge real-life efforts. Now, if anybody needs any further information, there's a full Santa Claus ecosystem, and I refuse to take any of these back to the office, so you all must all take a pamphlet home. And now a few closing words. Really, as we all know, this year has been full of dramas and fluctuations, not just in the UK, but globally. We've also been faced with an almost winter-type private equity market, plenty of financial turmoil, and talk of recession. However, we would like to finish this year on a positive note, looking forward to our new projects and expansions next year. It's great to see how many of you come, how many of you have lasted, and we are very keen to continue our discussions with everybody here about how we can work together in the future. So thank you very much, and I'll just ask Diana to raise a toast to you all if Diana could come along. Thank you.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again so much for joining us tonight for this beautiful Christmas celebrations. And on behalf of Deep Knowledge Group, from all of us, may I wish you a very Merry Christmas and a happy, prosperous and peaceful 2023.
Oh, Diana, I'm going to have to stop you there because
Here she comes.
there's somebody here that wants to have a word with you.
Oh no!
You're on the wrong list.
No, you're kidding.
You've not been a very good girl this year. I think
I know.
I think there's a lot of people in this room that somebody wants to have a word with.
And who is this?
Is anybody behind the curtain that wants to have a word with the people that...
Come on, wherever you are. Somebody's coming, ladies and gentlemen. Who would you like to see tonight? What a surprise!
Oh, Santa. I've been good, just FYI. I've been really good. Santa.
Somebody want a picture with Santa?
Not yet. Santa, we've got something to show you. Dominic has actually. Have you been good or bad?
Depends who you ask.
I think to get into Santa's good books, you should show him what you did.
Yes, I've no answer for that actually. Yes, I know. Yeah, I used to have dark hair. Excellent.
Oh, look at this.
So this is the Santa Claus ecosystem, which everybody can take home with them later on today, once I've overcome my embarrassment.
Now, I'm glad to say the reindeers are not on strike anymore.
Are the elves on
We flew here today, but what a job it was parking. Oh,
Yes, I do.
have you ever tried to park reindeers? Not very good. Now, parking those. Oh, the toy-making elves, they would have liked to have been here today. But I've got them hard at work in the workshop so that they can earn their Christmas bonus. Ginger cake. Oh, we've got gingerbread makers here as well. That's good. Christmas tree providers. Chimneys. Chimneys. Yes. I don't need a chimney anymore. I've got a magic key. I can get into any door, anywhere in the world. So there we go. And what we'd like to do, we're very honoured that Santa Claus ecosystem. We're very honoured to be here today. So we'd like to thank all the people that contributed to this wonderful gathering. So, and there's also one thing we'd like to say to a member of staff here. That's Karen. She helped put together this marvellous occasion. Now, I hope you all have made out your Christmas lists early. Yeah, because we might not receive them in time. Okay. Where's he gone?
Sorry,
Oh, there he is.
Santa, I forgot. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, I'll do that later. Okie dokie.
Sorry, Santa.
So, to finish with, have a lovely day. And remember, Christmas is about family, children, and united humanity. So, I'll say farewell. I've got a long way to go. So, cheerio, everybody! And don't forget, stay off the naughty step. Okay, cheery bye everybody!
Thank you very much.